Category 5 is relational. This category is so big for me and so important because it's a category I've failed terribly at in the past. And basically what this is in this category you write down all the relationships that you have. Maybe you have a spouse. This is one relationship. There's a category for family, there's a category for friends, there's a category for business partners, there's a category for mentors, there's a category for mentees also. Write down all these different relationships. And why I have this category for me is because this is something that I usually struggle with in terms of maintaining relationships. I have a lot of friends and family that are scattered all over the world. They're not that close to me in terms of physical location. And so if I don't make a conscious effort to reach out every now and then, because everyone is busy, everyone has a lot of things going on in their life and a lot of things that they're doing, trying to build their life. And so because they're not in proximity, like where I'll drive by and I'll be driving and I pass by them, or where I can just drive to their house, it's so easy to forget about them and so easy to forget to text and to call and to reach out until maybe once in a while when they pop into your mind. So what I do with this category, why I have it here, to create a system and a plan. So for me right now, it's every Saturday. There's every Saturday I have a reminder that is call a friend, or call a friend slash family member slash somebody in your relationship list, which basically makes it that every weekend it may not be the same friend that I'm calling every weekend. You could have people that you want to do that with. That's great. But it makes it that every once in a while, because I have this list and I'm constantly recycling. Today, if I talk to friend A, tomorrow is friend B, the next time will be friend C. By the time I come around to calling friend A again, it won't be like 5 years have passed by. It will be just like a couple of weeks have passed by, and I'm keeping in contact with them. I'm checking in with them, and it's just a way to be intentional with your relationships. And it can go down even farther to, for instance, relationships like with a spouse. Like every year with a spouse, you're going to have your spouse's birthday. You're probably going to have your anniversary that year, and if you're one of those couples, you probably even have Valentine's. So if you're making the plan at the beginning of the year, it can help you foster in these things where you begin to even think about the financial implication of these things. You begin to plan towards the gifts that you want to give them at this time, so that it's not like one week, his birthday is 1 week away and now you're panicking like, what do you want to get him? Maybe you don't have the finances and the resources to make it happen because you never planned. So this is also what you can include in this category. Like while you're thinking about each of the relationships, maybe each person's birthday is allocated there so you can plan towards it. And that is the general concept of the relationship aspect. These were the 5 categories that I used to uh, term it under. The 3 that I added this year are purpose. So, purpose basically for me is the things and the projects that I want to do within the year that add value and the things that bring me fulfillment. So, it could be for you, it could be like maybe you're not an everyday musician or artist. Maybe you work an office job, but you have a gift and a calling and a talent in terms of music, and you want to produce music. You want to create in your craft. And so you could have that laid in your mind. This is the category, this is purpose. So you could write down that album. Okay, how many songs are you going to have on the album? When do you want to shoot? When do you want to record this album? Do you want it to be video and audio, or do you want just audio? And plan it down. Okay, what instruments do you want to have? How do you want the song to go? Who's going to produce it? Stuff like that. Or it could be like you want to start content creating. This is the category. Plan for it here. Or it could be it's going to vary because we are all different people and we have different purposes. So whatever it is that is your purpose and whatever project that you want to take on this year, and this category is not may not be something that you need to work on weekly and weekly. It could just be like a project that you want to achieve this year, and this is the category. Add that thing there. Then another category that I added, which is now category 7, is travel. So travel is one thing that I have loved my entire life. I remember when I was a kid, my mom asked me at some point, what is it that you want to do? And I told her, you know what, mommy, I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to do something that has to do with traveling and has to do with talking. The point of sharing that story is just to tell you how important traveling has been to me for so long. And this was when I was a kid. But for some reason, I haven't been traveling for the purposes that I want to be traveling, which is basically recreational and for tourism's sake. So part of my plans this year is to be intentional in terms of traveling. Like, yes, I'm going to create a plan where do you, it may not entail the entire world right now, but what this category will entail is, okay, for instance, 2026, you can pick one location that you want to travel to, pick the country. In that country, pick the different destination points that you want to go to in that country. Okay, then start to plan. How much will it cost me? How much will the flight to and from cost? How much will the hotels cost? How much will it cost to get to each of these locations and so forth? Start to plan that. And once you plan it at the beginning of the year, and you can even allocate a specific time. I know for most people, they like to travel during the summer because that's when they get a break. So if you plan for this, for instance, at the beginning of the year or at the end of last year or at the beginning of the year, let's say you're seeing the video now and you're planning it in January, it gives you almost 6 to 8 months to plan for that travel, and you can start to even set money aside in regards to that. Or maybe your travel plans are not this year, maybe it cannot be attained this year. Planning paints out such a vivid picture of what is needed, what you need to put in place. Maybe it could even be visas and so forth. Like, it makes it so simple and so visible and so easy to see that you can start to put aside things that you need for the travel. So basically, that is category 7, travel for me. And then the last category that I added this year is self-care. It may seem so silly for some people, but this is something I struggle with so much. Growing up as a tomboy, growing up with my dad and my brother being my best friend, it's not something that has naturally come to me in the past. So it's something that I'm trying to get better at, and which means being intentional with it, which means planning for it. So you can plan your massages, like, so you can relax, like plan your massages every 3 months, right? Plan your pedicures maybe every month. Plan your, maybe you're somebody that does nails. Okay, plan it for every month. Like, okay, every month at this time I'll be going to this. Plan it, how much you'll need for it, plan for your hair. I once saw this girl on YouTube do, she said she called it a hair calendar, and it was so fascinating to me. Like, she, before the year comes in, she plans out the hairstyles that she's going to have for that year, and it actually makes that throughout the year you find out that you've taken care of yourself. You've constantly found yourself in a place where you're looking good and feeling good about yourself. So yeah, that's a category I added too. Add whatever it is for you that you do to self-care. A lot of people, it's massages. For you, it could be facials, it could be your nails, it could be your hair, it could be whatever it is that helps you just unwind and just be. This is the category for it. So I try to make it as brief as possible. Maybe at some point later on, I'll break down each category and show you the different systems that I have in place to make sure that I sustain each of these ones. But right now, that is the baseline for how I plan for the year. See you in the next video.